Hey, my name is Emily. I'm currently in my 4A term of Kinesiology in the Faculty of Health, and this is what I do in a day. So my typical weekday starts at 7:15 when my first alarm rings, and I'll give myself about 10 minutes to slowly start to wake up, and then my second alarm rings at 7:25, and that's when I start to check my phone, look at the weather and a couple notifications, but I'm out of bed at 7:30. I'm not really a morning person, so I'll try to go through some announcements on Learn or read and reply to emails during this time, and I'll make sure to have breakfast. Some overnight oats or banana bread is really good so that I can have something nutritious but also really fast in the morning. And if I'm going to campus really early, I'll try to get some caffeine either at Starbucks or Tim Hortons, whichever line is shortest usually, and at Starbucks I usually get a blonde roast hazelnut latte. I usually plan my day around my non-negotiables first, so any co-op interviews or synchronous lectures or lab times that I have, I'll make sure that they're in my calendar, and then I'll try to plan my asynchronous lectures and assignment times outside of that. And I also really like to keep a 4-month calendar because this helps me keep track of all my deliverables from the course syllabi, and I make sure to put exactly how much each deliverable is worth so that I know how important every deadline is. So then I can look at everything in a 4-month view, but also really like to have a weekly calendar. And this helps me look at my life on a day-to-day basis and try to fit in some meal times, some social activities and extracurricular activities so that I can fit everything into my schedule. So for me, a typical afternoon consists of more work and more school. So at this point, I've probably been sitting for about 3 or 4 hours at this point, so I really want to get up and I want to move. So I'll try to put a hard stop to all of the work at about 5:30, and I'll use this time afterwards to go out for a walk or a run. I really like running around Ring Road because it's a set distance and I get to see campus a little bit. And if the weather's not great, then I'll try to do a workout inside, something really short like a circuit workout or something similar. So in a typical week, I'll probably spend about 50 hours with school and studying combined. So that includes watching lectures, attending synchronous times, studying for any quizzes or midterms and preparing for those, and also writing and submitting assignments. I'm someone who needs to review the content multiple times before I feel like I really know the content. So I try to handwrite my notes so that I can engage with the content a little more. And this also gives me an opportunity to color code my notes with some important terms, key concepts, and some formulas that I need to remember. And on the weekends, I also have other responsibilities like meal prep and laundry, so I'll make sure I have time for those. I also live in residence as a residence life Dawn. I'm also a varsity trainer for our women's volleyball team and a Faculty of Health student ambassador. But outside of these roles, I really like to hang out with my friends, and we'll usually try to study together so that we can catch up and hang out, but also get some work done as well. So really great places to study on campus are Quantum Nano Center, where they have huge whiteboards as walls, and it's a really great studying tool. So that's a really great place. And there's also the 6th floor of the Dana Porter Library, which is a silent study and also a really good place to focus and study. I also really like studying in the Health Expansion building in the silent study space. It's really close to all of the classes and also a quiet place to study and do work. My favorite place to grab lunch with a friend on campus would definitely be Rotation, which is in the Davis Center. They have sushi burritos, which I was sort of hesitant at first, but don't knock it till you try it because they're really good. But I also, off campus, I really like to go to Marble Slab or Coco for bubble tea. So in the evenings, I'll have to go to volleyball practice as a trainer. So volleyball practices are at the Physical Activities Complex, or PAC, and our practices are about 3 or 4 times a week. But outside of those volleyball practices, I like to spend time with my students, so this time might be spent checking in with students one-on-one or throwing a floor event. And pre-COVID, I used to have Tasty Thursdays, so I would let students come into my room and they could get tea or coffee or snacks every Thursday. So that was a really fun time to just connect with students and also have a bit of downtime as well. So at the end of the day, I try to make a to-do list of everything that I need to do the next day or in the near future, just so that everything kind of empties my brain, is on a sheet of paper, and it helps me de-stress so that I'm not thinking about the things I have to do while I'm trying to fall asleep. But other than that, I'll try to sort of declutter my workspace. So that might be throwing out old sticky notes or some notes, or also washing my dishes and putting clothes away, just so that when I wake up in the morning, everything's nice and clean, and I have a good workspace that I can start my work. So that's what I do in a day. So my advice for future students kind of comes in like 3 parts. So the first thing would be to identify the time of the day that you're most productive. There's no point in trying to squeeze in a lecture at 8 a.m. if you're feeling really groggy, and know that you're more awake in the afternoons. I also like to keep more than one calendar. So a 4-month calendar is really great for just identifying the times of the term that are really busy and times where you might have a couple of assessments during the week, so that you can actually plan accordingly leading up to those 1 or 2 weeks that are really busy. And lastly, there's always time for a social and personal life. It's really hard to find that time if you're always prioritizing school and like extracurriculars over those things. So you always have to make the time for it and prioritize that as well. But there's definitely always time for some self-care, some personal connections, and some family time. Hours on the weekend.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
Carter like started
Right at the end.
Yeah.